I woke up in a stranger's body, choking on the metallic tang of cheap lipstick and the stale sweat of a life I never lived. By noon, I'd clawed my way back to the executive suite where my old skin, now draped over that traitorous bitch, sat smirking like she owned the world. And by 4 p.m., the entire board was on their knees, begging me to return, because only I knew the digital skeletons buried in the company's vault that could topple empires. But forgiveness? That wasn't in my blood anymore. Revenge was. They say the first cut is the deepest, but they never tell you about the ones that carve out your soul. Mine started on a rain-slicked Tuesday in Midtown Manhattan, the kind of day where the Hudson River looks like it's bleeding gray into the skyline. I was Leah Harper, 42, VP of Operations at Apex Dynamics, the cutthroat tech conglomerate that powered half the Fortune 500's dirty little secrets. I'd built my life on code and contracts, lines of untraceable algorithms that hid fortunes in offshore shells, backroom deals that greased palms from Wall Street to Silicon Valley. I wasn't just good, I was indispensable, the woman who made the impossible profitable. That morning, I'd kissed my husband, Marcus, goodbye in our Tribeca loft. He was my rock, or so I thought. Tall, silver fox handsome, the kind of lawyer who could charm a jury into acquitting the devil himself. Big meeting today, I'd said, adjusting my silk blouse. The merger with Vanguard. If we pull this off, we're set for life. He smiled that wolfish grin, the one that used to make my knees weak. Knock him dead, babe. I'll have champagne chilling. The boardroom was a glass and steel cathedral on the 47th floor, sunlight slicing through like Judgment Day. I'd prepped for weeks, spreadsheets that danced like vipers, projections that promised billions. Elena Voss, my protege-turned-rival, sat across the table, her sharp bob and sharper eyes betraying nothing. She'd been with me since her Harvard days. Eager, brilliant, the daughter I never had. I'd mentored her, pulled strings to get her promoted. Your family, I told her once, over late-night takeout. Little did I know. The presentation went flawless. Applause rippled. Then Marcus's text buzzed in, emergency. Meet me at the lab. Now, the lab? He meant Voss Tech, his side gig with Elena's startup, some neural interface nonsense they'd been tinkering with in a Jersey warehouse. I trusted him. Why wouldn't I? Our marriage was a fortress, built on shared ambitions and whispered dreams of retiring to a vineyard in Napa. The drive across the bridge was a blur of wipers slapping rain. The warehouse loomed like a forgotten relic, fluorescent buzz humming through chain-link fences. Marcus met me at the door, his face pale, Elena hovering behind like a shadow. Leah, it's groundbreaking, he said, voice trembling with that mad scientist gleam. Full consciousness transfer. Body swaps, reversible. Imagine the applications, medical, military, corporate espionage. I laughed it off at first. You're joking. This is sci-fi bullshit. But Elena's eyes burned with zeal as she led me to the chamber, a coffin of wires and humming servers, screens flickering with brainwave readouts. We've tested it on primates, she said. 98% success. You could be the first human trial. For science. For us. Us. That word hung like smoke. Marcus squeezed my hand. It's safe. And think. Proof of concept. We'd own the patent. Billions, Leah. Legacy. Legacy. God. I was arrogant enough to bite. Strapped in, electrodes kissing my temples, the world dissolved into white noise. A pinch, a flood of light, and then darkness. I came to gasping, not in the chamber, but on a stained mattress in a roach-infested walk-up in the Bronx. My hands, her hands, were calloused, nails bitten to nubs, skin the color of weak tea. Elena's body. No, not Elena's, some junkies, a transient she'd scooped up for the control group. My reflection in a cracked mirror showed a face ravaged by hard miles. Hollow cheeks, track marks faint on the arms. 42 going on 60. Panic clawed my throat. I stumbled to the window, rain lashing the fire escape, and dialed Marcus. Straight to voicemail. Then Elena's number. My number now, somehow. It rang once. Leah? Her voice, but in my throat, smooth and confident. Oh God, it worked. We're in. You're what? I croaked, voice a stranger's rasp. Laughter, cold as the river outside. You were always too trusting, Leah. Marcus and I, we've been planning this for months. Your empire? It's mine now. And you? You're nobody. Enjoy the view from the gutter. The line went dead. Betrayal hit like a freight train. Marcus, my husband, the father of the child we lost to miscarriage years ago, the man who'd vowed to bury bodies for me. And Elena, the girl I'd saved from a dead-end life, who'd clawed her way up on my coattails only to slit my throat with a smile. I didn't cry. Not then. I rifled the apartment, stole a hoodie, $40 from a sock drawer, and hit the streets. The subway to Manhattan was a descent into hell. Bodies pressed like sardines, eyes averted in that classic New Yorker denial. By the time I emerged at Penn Station, soaked and shaking, the truth gnawed deeper. This wasn't just a swap, it was erasure. They'd framed me, planted evidence of embezzlement, drug use, whatever stuck. My assets frozen, my name poisoned. First stop, a cyber cafe in Hell's Kitchen, $20 for an hour of anonymity. I hacked in using backdoors I'd coded myself. Old habits die hard. Apex's servers yielded gold. Emails between Marcus and Elena dated back 2 years. Leah's too entrenched. We need her out. Photos of them tangled in our bed. And the kicker, the miscarriage? Not natural. Elena's experimental cocktail to test fertility impacts. I'd carried that grief like a stone, blaming my body, while they'd weaponized it. Rage bloomed, hot and black. But this shell, weak lungs, trembling hands, betrayed me. A coughing fit doubled me over, blood-flecked phlegm on the floor. The junkie's lungs, ravaged by whatever Elena had fed her. Tom was a noose. I needed proof. Leverage. A way back in. That night, under the Brooklyn Bridge's sodium glow, I dumpster dived for a burner phone and plotted. Step 1. Infiltrate. Elena, in my body, would gloat. She'd slip. And when she did, I'd be there, a ghost in the machine. By dawn, I'd sweet-talked a bodega owner into a SIM card and a hot meal. You look like you need a break, Mija, he said, sliding me coffee. New Yorkers. Tough shells, soft cores. I nodded, forcing a smile that didn't reach eyes that weren't mine. The merger meeting? It was today. Elena would parade my face, seal the deal. But I knew the vault, the encrypted archive of Apex's black ops. Client lists, senators, cartels, CEOs who'd kill to stay buried. Only I had the keys. She'd fumble. They always do. I hitched a ride downtown, wedged in a delivery van reeking of fish. The Apex Tower loomed, a monolith of glass and greed. Security buzzed me through as maintenance, a forged badge from a Kinko's print job. Elevators hummed upward, my heart a war drum. The boardroom door cracked open. There I was, me, at the head of the table, laughing with the suits. Elena's poise in my skin, but the tells, a nervous tick, the way she over-explained projections. Marcus flanked her, hand on her. My knee under the table. Filth. I slipped into the AV closet, patched into the feed. Her voice, my timbre. With Vanguard, we're unbreakable. Lies. The numbers were off, subtle, but I'd spot them blind. Then it cracked. A board member, grizzled old Hargrove, leaned in. Leah, these projections. They're aggressive. Back them up. She faltered. Trust me. It's solid. Hargrove's eyes narrowed. Whispers rippled. I grinned in the dark, fingers flying over a laptop. Time to remind them who controlled the strings. By noon, the vault unlocked. Emails flooded inboxes, redacted files unredacted, bribes exposed. Chaos erupted, phones ringing, faces paling. Elena's mask slipped. She bolted for the restroom, Marcus trailing like a whipped dog. I waited in the shadows, syringe lifted from the junkie's stash. Enough sedative to drop a horse. Controversial? Hell yes. But betrayal like this? It demanded poetry. She stumbled out, alone. Leah? I hissed, stepping into the light. My own face stared back, horror twisting it. You bitch, she whispered. How? The needle plunged. Her or my body slumped. I dragged her to a service closet, stripped the jacket, bound her wrists with cabling. Minutes later, sirens wailed, anonymous tip about a disturbed executive waving a gun. Fiction, but believable in this town. By 2 p.m., news alerts buzzed. Apex VP in meltdown, merger in jeopardy. I watched from a payphone as the board convened emergency session. Elena, groggy and zip-tied in a psych ward, couldn't talk her way out. Then the begging started. Calls to my old number, voicemails piling. Leah, we need you. Only you know the codes. Hargrove himself. Whatever happened, come back. Name your terms. I hung up, pulse thundering. The swap was reversible, they'd bragged. But trust? Shattered. This body was a prison, but theirs? A throne I'd burned before reclaiming. Revenge wasn't slipping back in. It was dismantling everything they'd stolen, brick by bloody brick. Power isn't given, it's seized. And in the underbelly of New York, that meant getting dirty in ways that would make a priest renounce his vows. 2 days after the boardroom fiasco, I was still marinating in this junkie's husk. Lila Ramirez, her name scrawled on faded mail. Lila had been Elena's disposable test subject, lured with promises of cash for sleep studies. Overdose cover story, probably. I owed her a reckoning too, but first, survival. I'd holed up in a flop house off Fordham Road, the Bronx's armpit where dreams went to choke on roach spray. $50 bought me a week, a lock that stuck, and neighbors who minded their own. Food came from soup kitchens and shoplifted energy bars. Sleep was a luxury, haunted by phantom itches from track marks that weren't mine. But my mind, razor sharp. Leah Harper's brain in Lila's body, disorienting, like piloting a rusted Pinto with a Ferrari's engine. The plan crystallized over lukewarm ramen, divide and conquer. Marcus first. He was the weak link, the romantic fool who'd trade empires for a warm bed. Elena had the cunning, the corporate savvy, but Marcus? He cracked under pressure, like the time he'd folded in a deposition over a parking ticket. I started with surveillance. Burner phone, free Wi-Fi from a laundromat, hacked his calendar. Lunch with E, Gramercy Tavern, 1 p.m. Swanky. I couldn't waltz in as Lila. Too many eyes. So I improvised. Thrift store pencil skirt, blouse swiped from a church donation bin, makeup caked to hide the hollows. A wig from a drag shop in the village, brunette, shoulder length, nothing like Elena's bob or my blonde waves. Name, Lena Hart, freelance journalist sniffing merger dirt. The restaurant was old money opulence. Mahogany panels, waiters in starched white who sneered at my knockoff heels clicking on marble. Marcus arrived solo, tie loosened, scanning for Elena. I slid into his sight line, accidentally spilling water on his notes. "Oh God, I'm so sorry," I gasped, dabbing with a napkin, voice pitched Midwestern innocent. Up close, he reeked of betrayal. Cologne I used to buy him, now soured. He waved it off, ever the gentleman. "No harm. Lena, right? You look familiar." Freelance for Wired. Covering Apex's drama. I flashed a fake press pass, heart slamming. His eyes flickered. Recognition? No, just ego. Men like him thrived on attention. We talked. Or rather, I coaxed, he monologued. The merger was teetering, bored in panic mode after the episode. Elena was indisposed, psych eval, they called it. Marcus nursed a scotch, grip tightening. "She's brilliant, you know." Leah Harper. Was this swap thing experimental, meant to be temporary? I leaned in, feigning awe. Swap? Like bodies? That's wild. How's it work? His laugh was bitter, scotch slurred. Neural mapping. Consciousness upload, vessel transfer. Reversible with the right sequence. But Leah, old Leah, she's complicated, greedy, pushed too hard. Lies, all of it. But I played along, fingers brushing his arm. Sounds intense, but it strained things with your partner. Eyes met mine, hungry. By dessert, he'd spilled. The chamber's location, passcodes, Elena's paranoia. She's in deep now. Thinks she is Leah. He paused, voice dropping. Truth? It was her idea. I just facilitated. There it was, the fracture line. Elena, not Marcus, the architect. He'd been seduced, played like a fiddle. Sympathy flickered, unwanted. I quashed it, whispered, "You deserve better," and slipped him my burner number. For the story. Or whatever. That night, back in the flop, I pieced it. Elena's startup, Vostech, funded by Apex Slush, my slush. She'd been siphoning for years, building the swap tech as a heist. Marcus her patsy, me the mark. The miscarriage? Collateral, a test run on hormonal disruptors. My grief had blinded me. I doubled down at work, climbing higher to fill the void, while they plotted. Controversial decision numero uno. Seduce the snake. I met Marcus again, this time a no-tell motel in Jersey. Neon flickering, sheets like sandpaper. He was desperate, hands fumbling as he called me Lena, but eyes searching for Elena's ghost. I let him, stealing against the revulsion, recording every moan, every confession on a hidden app. The codes, I murmured post-coitus, tracing his chest. To reverse it. He hesitated, then caved. Only Elena has full access. But I can get you in. For you, Lena. You're real. Not like her. By week's end, I had a Trojan, USB drive laced with malware, disguised as merger docs. Marcus planted it in Elena's, my old, laptop during a reconciliation dinner. It bloomed overnight. Files exfiltrating to a dark web drop. My control. But Elena smelled blood. My face, her puppet, showed up on news feeds. Press conference, poised and penitent. A personal crisis, but Apex endures. Flanked by lawyers, Marcus beaming like a proud cuck. She was closing the net. HR audits, frozen assets, hunting Leah's accomplices. Lila Ramirez's face hit alerts, possible witness in overdose. Cops knocked at dawn, badges flashing in the dim hall. I bolted out the fire escape, legs burning, lungs seizing. Subway to Queens, then a stolen bike, pedaling through drizzle, a phantom in spandex. Sanctuary, an old contact, Tommy Ruiz, black hat hacker from my early days. Leah? Holy shit, what happened to you? Long story. Need a favor. Tommy's basement lair smelled of Red Bull and solder. Screens glowed like hellfire. I dumped the exfil data, proofs of fraud, affair logs, the miscarriage memo. Weaponize it. He whistled. This could crash markets. You sure? No. But certainty was for the living. Do it. Drip feed started. Anonymous leaks to Bloomberg, Reddit, X, Apex Insider, VP's body swap scandal. Threads exploded. Conspiracy nuts, finance bros, feminists raging on betrayal. Stock dipped 8%. Elena scrambled, firing underlings, but the vault's ghosts haunted her. Marcus called, frantic. What the hell, Lena? It's everywhere. Truth hurts, I said, voice steady. Meet me. The warehouse. Tonight. He showed, rain slicked, eyes wild. Elena knows. Thinks you're. You. I stepped from shadows, wig shed, makeup scrubbed. Lila's face, raw and ruined. Surprise, honey. He crumpled, babbling apologies. It was her. She promised we'd swap back after the merger, live as us. But she lied, kept the reversal key. Where? I pressed, syringe glinting, backup plan. Her safe. Apex penthouse. One more play. But as he lunged for a hug, desperation twisting to violence, I jammed the needle home. He slumped, eyes pleading. Controversial? Intimate betrayal demands intimate justice. I left him trussed in the chamber, dialing 911. Intruder at Vostek. Arm. By midnight, Elena's fortress cracked. But she was a viper. Striking next would be her masterpiece. New York in November is a bitch with teeth. Winds howling off the East River like banshees, stripping leaves and illusions alike. I'd upgraded to a squad in Bushwick, artist ghosts and spray, paint fumes my new perfume. Tommy's leaks had Apex hemorrhaging. SEC probes, shareholder suits, Elena's face, mine, splashed across CNBC as the ice queen imploding. She was cornered, lashing out. Paparazzi swarmed the tower. I watched from afar, a specter in hoodies, plotting the kill shot. The penthouse safe, biometric, retinal scan. Elena's eyes now, but I'd memorized the overrides from years of paranoia proofing my own office. Marcus's slip gave me the combo. Tommy spoofed a maintenance alert to kill cameras for 30 minutes. Entry, service elevator, disguised as a fumigator, masks and tanks bought from a hardware depot in Red Hook. The ride up was eternity, steel groaning like my resolve. This body betrayed me hourly. Joints aching from Lila's untreated arthritis, vision blurring from malnutrition. But pain sharpened focus. Elena had stolen my prime. The power suits, the corner office, the man who'd sworn eternity. For what? Ambition? Or deeper rot? Ding. 52nd floor. Hallway silent, marble echoing my boots. The penthouse door, hers now, redecorated in minimalist chrome, my Warhol swapped for her abstract nudes. I slipped the lockpick, Tommy's gift, and ghosted in. She was there, silhouette against city lights, pouring bourbon neat. My body, poured into silk pajamas, curves I used to curse now weaponized. Marcus, she called, voice, my voice, edged with fatigue. I stepped into lamplight, mask tugged down. Lila's face, gaunt and fierce. Her drink shattered on the rug. You. Me. I circled, keeping distance. Enjoying my life? The merger's toast, stocks in freefall. Boards whispering glass cliff, pushing you off it. She laughed, brittle. Leah Harper, street rat edition. Pathetic. You think this ends with leaks? I own the narrative. Cops have your prints. Lila's, on that syringe. Accessory to assault. Twist of the knife. She'd pinned Marcus's attack on me. And the miscarriage? I spat, voice cracking. Your science project? Her eyes, my eyes, hardened. Collateral. You were climbing too fast, blocking my path. Marcus was mine first, you know. College. You stole him with your boardroom bullshit. Lies layered on venom. But truth peaked. Elena's Harvard rejection letter, forged Rexide pulled? No, she'd earned it. Gratitude twisted to grudge. I made you, I said. Mentored, promoted. You were nothing. Nothing. She lunged for a drawer gun? I tackled, bodies colliding in farce. My frame versus hers. Lila's frailty against Leah's gym-toned vigor. She pinned me, breath hot on my neck. You took everything. My ideas, my man. The swap? Justice. We grappled, crashing into glass, shards skittering like ice. Her fist connected, splitting Lila's lip, blood welled, coppery. Controversial urge. End it here, snap her neck in my stolen skin. But no. Too quick. Revenge demanded spectacle. I need her gut. Rolled free, grabbed a poker from the fireplace. She froze, poker raised. The key, I growled. Reverse it. Now. Or. Defiance, but fear flickered. Or I burn it all. Vault's got your kill list. Vanguard rivals suicided, bribes to senators. One upload, and your cell block fresh meat. Bluff half true, Tommy held the trigger. She sagged, nodding to the safe. Retinal. Her eye to the scanner. My eye, cold blue. It whirred open. Inside, vial of nanites, syringe, laptop with sequence code. Take it, she sneered. But you'll never be me again. The board? They smell weakness. And Marcus? He's waking up, singing to cops. I snatched the vial, injecting without pause. Fire raced veins, brain igniting, synapses firing like fireworks. Vision doubled, then snapped. Elena's consciousness flooding back? No, mine reclaiming. The world inverted. I blinked, hands flexing, my hands, manicured strong. Across the floor, Lila's body stirred, Elena's soul blinking in confusion. What? Welcome back, I said, voice mine, rich and resonant. Power surged, familiar weight of earrings, scent of Chanel. But triumph soured. Staring at her now, trapped in decay, pity wormed in. No. Justice. I bound her, zip ties from the kitchen drawer, dragged to the balcony. Wind whipped, city a jeweled abyss below. One chance, I said. Confess. On video. The affair, the swap, the miscarriage. Or I let the world decide. She spat. Fuck you. You'll rot for this. Kidnapping, assault. Try me. Phone propped, red light blinking. She cracked, tears streaking Lila's cheeks, my old poise reduced to sobs. It was me, she choked. I did it. All of it. Upload queued. But as she begged, Marcus's words echoed. It was her idea. Was it? Elena's eyes, now in that shell, held a plea. Doubt gnawed. The miscarriage memo, signed by me? Forgery? Sirens wailed distant. Tommy's diversion? No, real. Cops, tipped by her panic button. Time bled. Controversial crux, mercy or oblivion. I hauled her to the edge, wind howling confession from her lips. Push me, she taunted. Be the monster. Temptation sang. One shove, and the fall, ironic poetry, body thief meeting pavement. But legacy? Mine was code, not corpses. I pulled back, dialing Hargrove. It's Leah. Penthouse. Now. Minutes later, suits swarmed. Board members, lawyers, feds in tow. Elena ranted, bound and wild. She's the imposter. They stared. Me, pristine. Her, feral. My word, my face, my vault keys. Arrest her, I said coolly. Impersonation, fraud, attempted murder. Cuffs clicked. As they dragged her, she screamed the truth, swap, betrayal. But in America's theater of doubt, who believes the madwoman? By dawn, I was back. Board apologies, merger salvaged on my terms. Stock rebounded. Champagne toasts, my reflection flawless. But the hook twisted. Marcus, released, confronted in the loft. Leah, what did you do? Survive. I poured scotch, hands steady. You chose her. He crumpled. She lied. Said it was temporary. For us. Us. The ghost child flickered. Our loss, her gain. Get out. He left, tail between legs. Victory tasted ash. Then the mail, Vostek patent, co-signed by me. Elena's work, but my name buried in fine print. I'd known subconsciously, pushed the trial to claim it. Doubt festered. Was I the architect, amnesia from the swap? Or her pawn still? Holidays in Manhattan are a farce, faux cheer masking the grind. Twinkling lights on trees that cost more than a year's rent in Ohio. December crept in like a debtor, billing me for sins I couldn't quite own. Apex crowned me CEO by acclamation. Leah Harper, the Phoenix. Press hailed my resilience, buried Elena's delusions in psych ward whispers. Vostek assets folded into Apex. Neural Tech rebranded, Harper Initiative, pitched as therapeutic miracles. Billions loomed, Napa Vineyard within reach. But mirrors lied now. I'd stare at my reflection, flawless bone structure, Botox smooth, and see Lila's hollow, eyes overlaying. The swap's echo, neural scars, phantom pains. Sleep came in fits, dreams of falling, her screams merging with mine. Marcus vanished, divorce papers unsigned, his practice crumbling under leaks I'd greenlit. Collateral. Poetic, they called it in therapy sessions I faked for the board. Elena rotted in Bellevue, catatonic half the time, ranting the rest. I visited once, under fluorescent hell, her in Lila's body, IVs snaking, eyes dull. You won, she croaked, voice gravel. But check the logs. Logs. I dismissed it, paranoia. But nights gnawed. Tommy dug, swap chamber footage, time-stamped. There I was, pre-transfer, initialing consent forms. Eagerly. Elena's pitch, share the patent, Leah. Co-founders. My signature, bold and black. Twist uncoiled slow. The miscarriage? Clinic records. Patient-requested trial for experimental contraceptive. Me. Testing her disruptors, ambitious to the marrow, delaying motherhood for the climb. She'd confessed on video, but twisted, mirroring my buried shame. Betrayal inverted. I'd been the user, stringing her along, stealing ideas, betting Marcus knowing her history. The swap? My push, veiled as support. Let's test it together, I'd said. Greed's blindfold. Controversial revelation. Was revenge justice or projection? I'd seduced Marcus in her skin, drugged him, leaked to destroy, mirroring her heist. The penthouse brawl? I'd initiated, poker swinging first. Board meeting loomed, Harper Initiative launch. Champagne flutes, investors drooling over consciousness augmentation. I stood at the podium, my face a mask, unveiling the tech. Reversible swaps for the elite. Body vacations, identity trials. Empowerment, I called it, ignoring the chill. After, Hargrove pulled me aside. Leah, the SEC's sniffing. Elena's claims. Wild, but timelines match. Coincidence. Lie-tasted bile. That night, loft empty, I fired up the chamber, smuggled from Jersey, reassembled in secret. Vial in hand, sequence loaded. Reverse again? Or embrace the fracture? Elena's words echoed. Be the monster. I was, always had been. The climb's cost. A ghost child, a stolen life, a husband's heart. Decision crystallized, dark and debatable. End the cycle. Or perpetuate. I injected, world dissolving. Woke in Lila's body again. No. Elena's, post-swap in the ward? No. Hallucination? Neural bleed. Reality snapped. Still me. In my skin, chamber humming empty. Breakdown? Or truth? The swap never fully reversed. Two souls, tangled. Phone buzzed. Tommy. Leah, logs confirm. You authorized everything. Elena was bait. Bait. I'd known, subconsciously, and let rage rewrite history. Climax crashed. Press conference leaked. My confession video, Elena's ploy reversed. No, her doing, from the ward. Hackers? Stock plummeted. Board ousted me midnight. Instability. Feds knocked at dawn. Fraud, conspiracy. I ran, subway shadows, burner in hand. To the bridge, rain lashing like judgment. City lights mocked. Empires built on sand. Final play. Upload all. Vault. Logs. truths. Let the world debate, victim or villain, betrayed wife or ambitious thief. Fingers hovered. Controversial end. Jump or fight. I jumped, not off, but in. Data flooded nets. Apex scandal. The swap that swallowed souls. Chaos bloomed. Forums raging. Who is Leah trending? Feminists decried corporate patriarchy. Tech bros hailed innovation's dark side. Ethicists pondered consent in the age of uploads. Elena walked free. Insanity plea, body failing. Marcus? Ruined, but alive. Me? Fugitive, Lila's face my new mask, vanishing into America's veins. Happy? Tragic? You decide. In the end, revenge isn't a throne. It's a mirror, cracking under its own weight. And in the shards, we all look the same, fractured, falling. But if I could whisper to that boardroom ghost, burn it all, before it burns you.